Now, recently, MRF, which is a multi-tool group out of Ukraine, sent me a whole bunch of their tools that are already made and will be made. Now, the first set, we'll go through a bunch of these because these are card-based. These are very minimal. These are not for everyone, but I do think there is a dedicated fan base that will find these exactly what they need and even better than a lot of other options on the market. These do seem to be made very well. I am impressed by the quality of them. So if you are a very minimalist multi-tool person, this is definitely for you. Now with these pry tools, they come in titanium and stainless steel. The titanium is $45. The stainless steel is $42. There are different versions. I really like this. They call this the tattoo on it. You can get many different designs. The ones they're offering at the moment are the Terra Incognito, Steampunk Gears, Japanese, and the Punisher. You'll notice there's a 1/4" bit driver on the end, an 1/8" bit driver, flat screwdriver. Now looking at this information more closely, I guess there is a large and a small one of these pry tools, these pry bars. So on the large one, we've already talked about the 1/4" bit driver, the 1/8" bit driver, the cord cutter that is right here on this one. Then they also talk about the set of wrenches on the inside. You can see where it has a set of wrenches. Then also at the end, the pry bar, nail puller. Now I was only sent 2 of the large ones, so the small one looks pretty fascinating as well. I think they are innovating, creating some of these. They're out of stock already, but these do look like pretty nice tools. I'm impressed by how well they're made. Now this is the MRF Universal. We start getting into their bread and butter, which is card style multi-tools. These pack a huge amount of potential in this. You can go ahead, undo this, and essentially you get the handle on the tool where you can get a lot more leverage. I don't know, that's wow, intense if you really need leverage for these tools, but especially for the cutting blades and some of the other things. So just like some of the modern day flashlights, I have to refer to these instructions pretty heavily because they have, it seems like, thousands of functions. This is no different. This is packed full of things it is purported to do. On the outside edge will be the knife. When we turn this around, as they have it here in the instructions, they talk about the cutter where it can cut cord, bottle opener here at the bottom. Turn it around on this side. They talk about the nail puller. I believe this is the nail puller. And then also this at the bottom can be used as a hatchet, a box opener, a can opener. They think that you can attach this to a stick and use it as a hatchet. That would be fascinating. It does remind me of the Klecker, I believe it is, design hatchet rather. Scraper, set of wrenches. They talk about the wrenches included: 3/16, 1/4", 5/16, 3/8, 7/16, 1/2", 9/16, 10/16, 11/16, 3mm, 4.5mm, 5mm, 5.5mm, 6mm, 7mm, 8mm, 10, 12, 13, and 15. On the outside edge of this tool, M3, M4, M5. Screwdrivers here at the bottom. Spoke wrench, when we turn it around, up here, the spoke wrench, I guess for bicycles. 3.5, 3.4, and 3.2 millimeters. Then, wow, so this is something I did not expect, but a 1/4" bit driver, which I see that, but then also for Leatherman. That's fascinating. This slot right here, they're saying that you can use Leatherman bits in there, and sure enough, yeah, you could. The O2 wrench, a butterfly wrench here at the bottom. Then turn around this way, the rasp. Shovel, I guess it could work if you have this attached. So they talk about the hatchet, but then attach it like this for the shovel. Then move it around on this side. This little divot at the end, they say, is for your barbecue grill scraper. And maybe this right here was more of the rasp. There is this, sort of like a file contoured surface. And they do talk about also using this spot right here for your fire starter. You can use this as your L square. These little dots in here as wire benders. Then in here as wire strippers in these notches. So I guess depending on how you use the angle, you can actually use them to strip wire. Then also the inch and metric drill guide. But that's not all. Then we can go ahead to the back right here, tire tread depth, using these markers, the inch ruler on this side, metric ruler, the reverse side. There's the metric compass, inch compass, protractor, quick angles, sheet thickness. If you need to see, I guess, how thick like a metal sheet is. They're saying that you can use this as determining distance by way of thousandths using a plane. So that's pretty neat. They show that right there. Almost looks like something a sniper would use, but I don't think that's exactly what that's for. Going to install a small pen, and when tilting the pen, you can use it almost, it looks like, as a sundial. This base one will be around $58. Then when it comes with 2 additional tools, it will go up to about $116. And then for a leather wallet that encompasses everything, it goes up to, I think, around $142. These handles fit in. They can be used to make this a lot more, so you can accomplish heavier duty tasks. All right, so there it is installed. So you have a hammer, or not a hammer, but a handle, so you can get a lot more force or use this a lot better. And I have to say, it is a lot more comfortable, so your hands aren't protruding over or grabbing onto that surface. The handle makes a lot more sense than I actually thought, but yeah, that really does help, and I think it gives it a lot more usefulness. Now, they do include one of the handles. This might be something that's coming out in the future, but one of the handles they will offer, or they do offer at this time, is actually this, which includes extra wrenches. So it's not just a handle, but it actually is even, the handle is useful as a tool as well. Now, this next card tool from MRF comes in at $24. This is the Professional. This one right here, I did actually buy off of Amazon. I have reviewed this on the channel before a little while ago. I'm going to run down some of the tools that come with it. Inch ruler, metric ruler, protractor, inch compass, metric compass, circle templates, the pixel scale, phone stand, pick a scale, L square, the extra protractor, quick angle, quick parallel lines, steel thickness gauge, the drill diameter gauge, 1/4 inch hex bit driver, bottle opener, tire depth scale, box opener, and then the plumb tool as well. This one has all those features. It's pretty nice. Now, with some of these, they are a little bit heavy, but they are made very well. This comes in again at $24. This next tool is the Extreme 3.0 by MRF. This one in the steel version comes in around $40. Titanium comes in around $58. This also has a bunch of tools featured. 1/4 inch driver. Then on this side, flat screwdriver, turn it around, Phillips screwdriver. You can see the definition a little bit there. The hexagon socket drivers. Actually, when this one, let's see, we get this. So the hexagon screwdrivers for the M4, the M5, the M6. Further down, spoke wrench. And then for the hexagon socket driver, some of those are included here on the back. So M4, M5, and M6 include these two brackets. Set of wrenches all in here. Those will include a 1/4 inch, 5/16, 3/8, 7/16, 1/2 inch, 9/16, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 17 millimeter. O2 wrench. That occurs on this card. Butterfly wrench, all these. Let's move this tool around. Cord cutter, bottle opener. Move that over to this side. Let's see, we'll get this lined up. Bottle opener, can opener. Flip it over on this side. So here's your can opener spot. Pry tool, flip it over here. They're using, looks like down here for a pry bar. Box opener. So flip it this side. You can use this side for a box opener. Wire bender. There's some holes for bending wire. Does include metric roller markings. Also inch roller on the other side. Now the next card is the Universal 4.0. Now this one starts out really different in that it has these guitar string guides at the bottom. Now this one comes in around $58 just for the tool. If you add something like pliers, comb, or a knife on either side, that increases it to around $94. You add something like a leather wallet to keep it in, then it's $118. So the prices do go up a little quick depending on what you add into it. Oxygen wrench. Also, this includes the bit drivers. 1/4 inch, 4 millimeter Leatherman bit driver with a lock. That is, I think, one of the most interesting things about this is this actually, yeah, that's one of the best bit drivers I've seen with that spring lock. I really like that. That's a pretty cool feature on it, actually. Inch metric guide. There's inch ruler, the 8 times wire bender, all the notches on the tool. Acetylene wrenches that you can use. So they're, I guess these right here, I think, is what they're listing, some of those. Gas valve wrench, wire stripper, also using this notch. How you determine the distance, we still have that carried over from one of the other tools where they talk about determining distance. Sharpening angle guide. That is different on the bottom, where you can see on here 15, 20, 25, and 30 degrees. This will be the parallel guide. Down here, they talk about the wide screwdriver, very wide screwdriver. Semi-sharp hatchet. Maybe this edge, I guess you could use it in a pinch. Flip this around, moon phase calendar. I never have really desired a moon phase calendar on my multi-tool, but I'm sure some people would enjoy that. Flipping this around, can opener, circle template, these two ends. Then the carabiner loop, you can use that. On the reverse side, some of the tools that we've seen on some of the other cards, the nail puller, pry bar, box opener, some of these sharp edges or semi-sharp edges they're saying you can use for the box opener, scraper, protractor. Right here's your protractor. Quick angles listed on the back. Precision protractor. Some spoke wrenches. Now these, I think, are basically the same thing that they talked about the guitar guide earlier. Butterfly wrenches in the bottom. Precision ruler markings, L square, sheet thickness guide, 24 set of wrenches. You've got all these graduations in here, the metal that you could use potentially as wrenches. Screwdrivers, they say 3 sets of screwdrivers. I think that might be a little generous. Plumb tool, fruit peeler here at the end, if you so desire. Cord cutter, using the notch. A bottle opener, we've already seen that before. Sundial clock, I think we've seen that one on another one. Sundial compass. Shovel, the barbecue scraper, scoring tool, nail file, rasp. Yeah, it's got a lot of things included in with this. One of the cases that MRF sent, or the leather case they sent, was this one right here, which looks pretty nice. You can actually store 2 of these tools on either side. They are coming out with, I believe, this Leatherman bit holder, which is pretty nice. That can be stored in the middle, and between them, some other things can be stored on the outside, probably like some of these pry tools right there. I really like what MRF is doing in the sense that they are making high quality tools. I can see some survival aspects where these would be very useful. I don't think I am necessarily their market. I'm not as much a consumer of these types of tools, but I do feel like they are very well made for those people that are and that enjoy using them. There are a couple more tools. I think I'll wrap it up right now, and maybe I'll talk about the other tools at a later moment. I think some of them are going to be released on Kickstarter soon, but most of these, or all of these, you can probably get at the moment off of their website. With $150 when you spend, they do give free worldwide shipping. And with these tools, especially if you add the case, that $150 is fairly easy to reach. Thank you so much, MRF, for sending this from Ukraine, or making it in Ukraine. And I hope to see a lot more from them in the upcoming years.